you know, people have, every single person has their own story. We can come into it with our own understanding and with all of what we've read and understand and all the workshops. But the one thing we never ever know is how that other person sitting across the table is really responding to their particular loss or their particular grief experience. And time again, you hear people talk about how to lose somebody so close, and I've had that experience myself, as I think most, if not all of us have. It's almost like you know, it's such a major event, such a major loss. It takes time, and that act of remembering, because it's like there's something so key that's missing from our lives, and someone so key that's missing from our lives. So that act of remembering, people need to have that opportunity to find a place to remember. And people have a variety of ways to remember in everyday life, but particularly among the holiday time, all holiday time, but the memory tree is set up during the Christmas and Hanukkah and that December period of time, where family traditions are huge and where the acuteness of that loss can be particularly difficult, as people are surrounded by joy, surrounded by messages of happiness and everything being positive and wonderful. And yet it accentuates for people who have experienced loss, their loss. And you know, I have so many memories of people who have come to the memory tree, people who have said they never heard about the memory tree, but they felt drawn to go up that hallway of the shopping mall, and then they would see it and they might pull back a little bit and come forward. I've sat at the memory tree, I've watched people circle and come back and then step forward. And almost sitting at the memory tree, it's kind of like being in a bubble of time. There's such busyness around, but for those of us who sit as volunteers and those of us who visit the tree, it's a very, very special and poignant moment where it almost feels in some ways timeless. And people write their memories. Sometimes, I mean, I've met people who have said that they make it their family tradition, death of a child, and then that mom will bring back her children every year so that the children will know the story as well too. I always wrote my cards when I would first get to the memory tree for my grandparents or my mom, and just a note, because we don't have opportunity to write a direct note or to express in writing in that way. So it's really quite poignant. Sometimes there's tears and sometimes there's not, and it's all okay. I think the main thing is that people, whoever visits the tree, will feel safe and welcome, and whatever they need to express will be important and is essentially important for them. So that to me is the significance of the tree, and it's particularly during the holiday time that it's so important for people.